Medalta is an innovative industrial museum,
Contemporary ceramic art residency,
an exhibit gallery,
research and education center,
and a community hub. I'm Barry Finkelman. I'm the Executive Director of the Medicine Hat's Historic Clay District.
I'm Jenna Stanton. I'm the Curator of Exhibitions and Collections at Medalta. We're here at Medalta in the National Historic Clay District. Our museum was based on the ceramics industry that was started here in 1912 at Medalta, and it was based on the natural gas and natural clay deposits in the area, and at one point served over 75% of ceramics across Canada. We do have a history of flooding at Medalta. The site itself was built on floodplains. It was an expensive land at the time and near the natural clay deposits. Luckily, the city is building berms around our site now to prevent future flooding. Our 3 sites were all affected by the floodwaters in 2013.
At that time, we were standing above the property, looking down from one of the hills, and we could see water coming not only to the property, but up above the doorways. And it did. It filled in, it brought about an inch of water throughout the entire property. And even an inch of water on the floors causes significant damage.
Luckily for us, most of the collection in the collection room proper at Medalta that was affected was ceramic artifacts. So those were household objects that had been donated to us over time, and luckily they can handle a little bit of washing up.
We did have water in the furnace room, which was a basement area of the Highcroft site. But beyond that, we didn't actually have water in the Highcroft site, so that was a blessing.
But the moisture affected the foundation walls and started collapsing the shelves where we housed over 10,000 original molds that were once used in the factory.
In order to protect the buildings, we had to clean out a lot of the collection, rooms that hadn't been touched in over 50 years that were waiting for future work. This is where the Alberta Museums Association funding really helped us.
After the floods of 2013, we had the opportunity to reinvigorate our collections department. At Medalta, we definitely like to say that we're making a lot of lemonade out of the lemons that we were given with the flood of 2013. The flood has actually, and the funding that came with it, has allowed us to move forward on a number of dream collection projects that we had and really highlight some of the great objects that are hiding under the 7 acres of roofed buildings that we have here at Medalta.
The big change that happened with the flood was that we began to look at our collection in a different way. We were able to bring all those molds out of a storage area that was far too confined for them, clean them, accession them, and start to really understand a level of material that had been here at the Highcroft site for generations without any activity. So it became a major shift in the way we were looking at our collection.
The Highcroft mold room, that is one of our larger projects we're working on, is full of over 10,000 original molds that were made when Medicine Hat Potteries was gearing up to start their company. So we have molds and prototypes that were made back in 1937, as well as a lot of the technical drawings that were used for these as well. With our mold project, a bulk of the work that we've been doing over the past couple of years actually is just getting in there and removing these 10,000 molds from the shelving units that were either already collapsing from the moisture of the flood or they were in jeopardy of collapsing. So taking out 10,000 molds that are probably anywhere from 10 to 300 pounds has been a great deal of work for our team. But we are moving all of the old molds onto new shelving systems where we are beginning to catalog them for our collection. In North America, there's a renewed interest within ceramics and ceramics institutions to explore mold making and industrial processes. So we're sitting on a real resource, a real gold mine for us within all these plaster molds. So this funding has allowed us to not only save these molds that were on shelves that were buckling due to the moisture of the flood, we're 3D scanning them so we'll be able to share them with an audience worldwide.
In addition, because we were now cataloging these molds, we were also able to use the catalog system to recatalog our entire collection of about 35 to 40,000 pieces of Medelta history. Now, with the support of the AMA, we are moving everything into a new cataloging system. We're able to photograph all of our collection using a 3D modality, and the hope is that within a very short time, we'll be able to put most of this collection online and provide the public with a virtual collection image of almost everything we have. One silver lining has been the creation of new opportunities through some really diverse partnerships. Now, we've been working with the National Research Council recently on a process whereby we use 3D printing to print the original molds of items where molds don't exist. If this works properly, we believe that we'll be able to print molds of some of the items in our collection. Items that haven't been seen for 50 years, that haven't been on the market for that time.
Our mold collection gives us an amazing resource for education in industrial processes, for artists coming to our site from around the world, but also to children visiting our museum through our community classrooms and online through our future online 3D scanned mold library. We have been working on projects with Medicine Hat College, so we work with the 3D printers there. And once we have our 3D mold library sorted, we can then extend the invitation for future opportunities. So for artists and craftspeople to work with our original designs for future exhibitions or collaborating with us from around the globe. Impact at Medelta speaks to the flood of 2013. So it goes through from when staff were watching the floodwaters rise on the hill with photographs that we were taking as we were surveying what was happening. And it also highlights some of the projects that we're undertaking. So beginning to digitize our collection to share online, and also our Highcroft mold project, so artifacts from that. And just being able to start sharing some of the processes and little gems that we've been finding under the 7 acres of roofed buildings here at Medelta. With the funding and the additional staff that we have, we're setting best practices in place so that these projects can continue long after the flood funding dries up.
So in many ways, the flood has given us a new opportunity to look at some of the work that we haven't had a chance to deal with yet. We never thought we would get to within this time frame, and all of a sudden the opportunity is there. It's been absolutely wonderful because it's helped us refocus on our collection. Museums do change, they go through changes. This was a change that was a wonderfully helpful, natural process that we're absolutely thrilled with.
We no longer just interpret our industrial past.
We are living it.